Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
A fast-moving storm leads to a wild evening all over Metro Detroit with a reported tornado in Monroe County. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Kimberly Gill.
And I'm Devin Skillian. The damage not really widespread, but you could see there some sections of town really hit. In fact, Frenchtown Township was serious damage. Mara McDonald live in Woodland Beach right now, where people living there are cleaning up quite a mess. Mara.
Hi, Devin. Kimberly, let me show you why everybody here is confident they had a tornado. Take a look at this massive limb. This is just one of several that is in this immediate area, almost as though a giant decided to walk down one or two streets here and just start swinging trees. You can see the path of that tornado. It brought down a massive old oak that swallowed this home and two vehicles. Joe Sonoris was home when it happened.
It was all peace and quiet, nice gentle rainstorm, and then after about 30 seconds, the wind just came up out of nowhere. Neighbors ran into their house. I went to go out the front window, heard a loud crack, and dove out of my bedroom because the tree was coming in.
It sure did, and there's extensive tree damage in the immediate area. Friends and family are out tonight helping clear the mess. Roads in the association are narrow, so this kind of damage is a real problem. Luckily, no one was hurt, and Sonoris, for his part, well, he's in fairly good spirits considering the mess on his hands.
About 4 holes in the roof. The boys' bedroom upstairs is kind of messed up. All the drywall's in, the rain came in. Our front bedroom window got smashed in. And other than that, we got lucky.
Back here live, if you take a look behind me, you can see DTE just rolled up out here. It's interesting to note that the power outages are sprinkled. Like, you would think this entire area with these huge trees down would have no power. Not so. It's confined to little miniature spots like right where we're standing right now. In addition, the National Weather Service is expected to be out here tomorrow morning on the ground to give these people a final determination on whether what they had here was indeed the tornado they think they did. We're live in Frenchtown Township tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Really surgical storms tonight. All right, Mara. Now, the storms moved in very quickly. Better days ahead, though, now.
Forewarned meteorologist Kim Adams has been tracking the storms all day. Kim, we're in the clear now.
We're in the clear as far as severe weather goes, but we still have one little cell just to the south of Port Huron. I had some phone calls from folks in Port Huron saying, what's going on? I hear thunder. Not severe, but this is a garden variety thunderstorm just south of Marysville affecting St. Clair right now, getting some moderate rain in Port Huron, but you're hearing the thunder from these storms that are just to your south. I-94, they're just east of 984 and moving to the east, so they'll be out of here, I would say, within the next 30 to 40 minutes, but not severe. What was severe earlier was that storm cell that went through parts of Monroe County and potential tornado. But I'll tell you what, this afternoon in Howell, that's when things first started firing up. And when we saw this hail, we started looking for signs of rotation, because oftentimes the large hail is an indicator that there could be tornadoes forming. This is from Howell, and then we were also closely watching a cell that had potential rotation in Ypsilanti Township. Look at the size of this hail, anywhere from 1 inch to 1.5 inches. So that's about the size of a quarter, the coin a quarter, up to about a golf ball size hail, enough to do some damage to cars and siding of your house. And then finally, Trenton was the last place that we got this hail video from, and it's coming down at a pretty good rate as well. But I want to talk for a minute about the potential tornado. You saw Mara with the damage there. This isn't a place really where, you know, it's heavily populated, but populated enough to where when a tornado or a potential tornado comes through, we are seeing some damages to homes, trees are down. So this was at 6:16. That's when we had our first tornado warning. But even before that, we were watching signs of rotation, but it was a very short-lived tornado warning issued just after 6 o'clock, and it was done by 6:30. So those storms moved quickly to the east. But I'm going to show you velocity. We don't normally show this, but the reason why I am, so you've got the red here, which this indicates wind moving away from the radar site, and green toward it. So when we see something like this hook here, as meteorologists, our ears perk up, and we know that there is the potential for a tornado there. But the National Weather Service will go out later on tomorrow, and they'll look for signs of rotation. Even trees being uprooted doesn't necessarily mean there's a tornado. That could also be straight line wind damage, but I have a pretty good feeling we'll get that confirmation tomorrow. What else we'll get tomorrow? Some sunshine, and I'll tell you if it lasts through the weekend coming up in the forecast.
Kim, thank you. A new report answering several questions about an Oakland County plane crash that killed a family of 3 back in 2021. The National Transportation Safety Board just closed its investigation, releasing its findings. Jacqueline Francis is digging into that report. Jacqueline.
Kimberly, the NTSB says the pilot did not have the training to be flying in the weather conditions that day. The report included home surveillance video of the crash. We're not showing the moment of impact as it is difficult to watch. In an instant, 3 lives lost and a community devastated.
We thought it almost looked like a model plane or something, and then we saw the fire coming up, so we went over and got our friends out of the house.
This Lyon Township neighborhood jumping into action, running over to help.
The fire got bigger and bigger, and by the time all the trucks arrived, it was already kind of too late.
The family inside the home made it out, but the Campo family inside the plane did not. 2.5 years later, and the investigation comes to a close. The NTSB released its findings. In it, it said the pilot, David Campo, was flying back from Georgia with his wife and son on January 2nd, 2021. Once in the Midwest, visibility became an issue due to the weather conditions. Around 3:30, Campo was cleared to land at Oakland Southwest Airport. These maps show how the pilot overshot the airport and began circling. The report says the pilot failed to keep up speed. The plane stalled out and crashed soon after. Along with the weather conditions, the report says the pilot's lack of training contributed to the crash. Campo was not instrument rated, meaning he was only licensed to fly in high visibility conditions.
That was very tragic, very sad. Obviously, the people lost their lives, the family lost their lives.
The family whose home caught on fire from the crash, they did move back in just this past December. They tell me they are focused on the future, wanting to keep what happened in the past. Reporting live in Detroit, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
Okay, Jacqueline, thank you.
New tonight at 11, a Detroit man is charged in the death of his girlfriend. 42-year-old Cortez Coleman faces first-degree murder charges. Prosecutors say Coleman strangled 48-year-old Stacy Smith to death. They say Coleman also stabbed the victim in the chest and burned her left leg. Police found Smith's body inside her bedroom at a home on Berg back on June 9th. Officers arrested Coleman on Monday. Tonight he's in the Wayne County Jail.
A Detroit mother and father are facing charges tonight after a 6-year-old got a hold of a gun and shot their 11-month-old son. Lolita Morgan and Mandel Berryman are in court on child abuse and gun charges. Prosecutors say Morgan's 6-year-old son found an unsecured gun in the home and fired it, hitting that 11-month-old in the face and shoulder. It happened in a home near Jefferson and Connor on Detroit's east side. The baby had to have reconstructive surgery. Berryman just went before a judge and pleaded not guilty. We're waiting on Morgan to appear before a judge next.
The Oakland County woman charged in a hit-and-run crash that killed a Michigan State student takes a plea deal. Tuptim Sue Howson is accused of hitting and killing 22-year-old Ben Cable as he walked down an Oakland Township road on New Year's Day. She fled to Thailand soon after that. Then she was taken into custody after being extradited to the U.S. A no contest plea. Now, that is not an admission of guilt, but it's treated like one during sentencing, so she faces up to 5 years in prison, which she's sentenced next month.
A Dearborn man convicted of supporting ISIS and attending a training camp is headed to prison. Prosecutors say Ibrahim Musalabi started researching ISIS while he lived in Michigan in 2015. They say he went to Yemen, then eventually traveled to Syria, where he underwent ISIS military training. He's taken into custody in 2018 and convicted earlier this month. A judge sentenced him to 14 years in prison. A new act being signed into law today makes Michigan a more inclusive place for all.
Governor Whitmer today signing the Crown Act into law. Crown stands for Creating a Respectful and Open World for Natural Hair. It ensures that no one can be denied employment or opportunities because of hair texture, of protective styles. Michigan is the 23rd state to sign the Crown Act into law. Employees of the University of Michigan, the University of Michigan Center, which is in Northville, recognized tonight for saving their colleague during a heart attack.
Yeah, Crystal Mollet went under cardiac arrest on April 20th during her shift at the U of M Health Center. That's when she truly understood her coworkers' life-saving skills after they rushed to begin CPR using a defibrillator. She was shocked back 5 times and had 3 rounds of medications before she once again started breathing on her own. Tonight, she and the first responders behind their heroic action were recognized.
I'm extremely grateful that my coworker was with me because I was working in an office and I could have collapsed in there without anybody walking by for several minutes. And I mean, the outcome probably would have been different had that happened.
The Northfield Township Fire Chief presented the Civilian Life Saving Award to her colleagues who helped to save her life.